if I said to you that somebody had conquered the United States and they had decided that they were going to give you your choice of any company from a list of companies that you can own for free, but you have to own that company for the next 10 years. And let's say the options are, I thought of some options, but I'm a bit thinking of them on the fly now. Let's say Apple, Google.
NVIDIA.
I'm not going to include NVIDIA.
Oh, okay. How come?
So Apple, Google, like Alphabet.
Microsoft?
No, not Microsoft.
Why are you taking out
Because I think they're too, because Microsoft is too good.
Okay.
It's too undisputedly good, right? Yeah. And NVIDIA, it's like I don't know, like it's not interesting for what I'm about to ask you. So Apple, I mean.
A few caveats in this question.
Well, you can ask both sides of the question if you want. It will be less interesting for you if you ask both sides. Apple, Meta, Alphabet, Netflix.
Yep.
Let's chuck one. What's another interesting one that we can chuck in there? Let's say those four.
Okay.
Which of those four?
So Apple,
Alphabet, Meta, and Netflix. Oh, Tesla. That was my fifth one.
So is the question who's going to spin off the most cash in the next 10 years?
The question is if I could let you own any of those, but you can't sell them in the next 10 years.
So you can never sell. So
you can sell them after 10 years.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So who's going to get the highest total shareholder return in 10 years?
Yeah. Who do you think has got the best next 10-year opportunity?
Well, the challenge also is obviously they're different. Netflix is a much cheaper in terms of I can get Netflix for under $1 billion.
That's
Apple
true.
costs $3 billion.
That's true.
The base is different.
So you might say, well, that's not going to be the best of those companies over the next.
Well, it's harder for Apple because Apple's offer a higher base.
I know.
So on that basis.
I know. Well, that's a good question. So let's say
I think they're all overpriced.
Yeah.
So
well, which one of those do you think is going to have the worst next 5 to 10 years
total shareholder return?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Tesla clearly.
Like Tesla may not exist as an independent entity in 10 years' time. Yeah. Okay. So we take Tesla off that list.
That's clearly number one, as in one worst.
That's the worst. Which one do you think is the best on that list? That is the most. I know which one I think. It's the most likely to do very well over the next 10 years.
I'm looking at
10 is a long time, but 5.
I'm looking at the opposite. I'm looking at who's going to do the least badly because they're all, in my view, grossly overpriced.
Right, so, but I think all right. But let's not look at the price. Let's look at the business.
TSR, then we have to look at the price.
Well, I'm trying to say which of those businesses do you think is going to do the best as a business over the next? That means maybe increase the because TSR is heavily. So we should say TSR is total shareholder return. Yeah. It's basically how much profit are you going to make on your investment over. So I care less about that because you're right. It's totally vulnerable to whatever the price is. Maybe the way I should ask this question is, which one is going to do the best increase in its earnings? Let's say.
For someone who's thought all week about this question, you probably could have.
Well, I didn't say I've thought all week about it. I said I thought briefly about it during the week.
So whose earnings going to increase the most?
Yeah.
It won't be Apple because I think their earnings will go down because iPhone's the major product.
Yeah, I
shrinking.
agree.
So
and also they've been left behind. And if you believe AI is the next wave, they've been left behind. So it's not going to be Apple.
Netflix, Alphabet, Meta.
Yeah.
Alphabet's obviously huge risk from AI. So
well, I think Alphabet, however good their AI is, like they're going to lose.
Incumbent.
They're going to lose a monopoly.
Yeah. Well, they've lost it.
Well, it will take time. Look, that's why I said 10 years.
90.
I think it will take 10 years for that really to be lost. And then the question is, can they replace it with Waymo? You know, I've got my doubts about that.
And can YouTube keep growing? Because YouTube's not a monopoly, but
YouTube
streamer.
You know, if someone invents quantum computing, it might be them, although I don't think it'll be a monopoly again. And so I think their problem is they're going to lose a monopoly and they might pick up other stuff, but nothing that they could pick up is going to be a monopoly.
Yeah. So I think they're probably the third, as in, so worst to best, Tesla worst, Apple second worst, Alphabet third worst, then Meta and Netflix. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Netflix has run hard. We love Netflix's strategic advantages. It's building scale.
Yeah.
Meta has run hard as well. The thing I like about Meta is WhatsApp's just right for monetization. They've sort of touched on it.
Totally agree.
We've done a little bit of it.
Totally agree.
So I think, and there's obviously Insta, which is just an incredible platform.
And we should not forget to say, Facebook is probably, I don't say this is going to sound like an Adam comment, Facebook might be the greatest business in the history of business. Like it is, it's an unassailable business that can generate cash.
Well, it's been assailed by its Instagram.
By its own thing. No, but as a business model, it is probably the greatest business model in the history of the world.
Probably the strongest switching costs.
It's got no
because
input
it's got a
costs.
social network.
It's got zero input costs.
Well, so does Google.
Well, that was why Google is such a good business. But Facebook is...
I think the thing I like, forget that's all sung.
But Google can only, I just want to say, Google can only monetize when you're interested in buying something. Facebook can monetize you at every second of your life.
Yeah. But obviously Facebook has not jumped the shark necessarily, but Facebook's been declining and Insta's been growing. So that's the challenge with Facebook.
So Insta is just V2 of Facebook, right?
That was one of the, if not the best, top 3 or 4 acquisitions ever.
What's their downside? And they're at the cutting edge of AI.
I was going to say, the other thing about Meta is they're actually monetizing AI probably better than anyone other than NVIDIA, who's obviously the pick and shovel, not the algorithm so much. So, the way Meta monetizes AI is they better search results for their customers. So, as in the customers in their advertisers and us and Catapult.
Plus, they've got their own LLM, and there's a few, like Llama, and there's a few special things about that LLM. Like, it can work with much less processing power required. Like, there's some special things
they're
about
not trying to make money, they're just trying to get data from it.
So what's their downside?
Well, the downside is that Insta does what Facebook does. So Facebook is slowly declining. It's obviously it's got switching costs, so it's going to take a long time to decline.
So Facebook version 3 will come and not be owned by Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Which could be TikTok.
Well, I don't think it'll be TikTok.
I know, I agree with you. It's
I
not
think
TikTok.
Insta's probably beating TikTok now or competing very strongly.
By the way,
they've also got Threads as well, which is doing really well.
Yes. Is Snapchat dead?
No, it's going.
It's still
its
going?
share price is basically back to its IPO price, but no, it goes. It's more of a brand advertising platform.
It's hard for me to think about...
We're not the market for Snapchat.
Yeah, I know. It's hard for me to think about a risk to Meta that's obvious, like some massive
you say
risk
I'll
that's
say inverted
obvious.
commas breakup risk, but as Scott Galloway says so well, generally when companies broken up, shareholders win. So even if it does, and I think Alphabet should be broken up for sure. That'll be a massive boon for shareholders. If
Although the disappearance of their primary revenue generating monopoly might actually be an argument for them not to be broken up.
Yeah, it's true. Well, they still have a monopoly on the seller, on the vendor, and as shown by their disgraceful credit card removal. That just shows how dominant they were.
So I think Netflix has got a good future.
Yep.
But I think they'll continue roughly on the same trajectory that they're going, which has been good. But I think Meta might become the most valuable business in the world. I think Meta might become the most valuable business in the world.
Yeah, it's with 1.8 trillion now. We think Apple will drop off. The question is, I can't see it taking Microsoft.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like that's why I didn't include Microsoft. Yeah. But I think they might end up neck and neck. Yeah, they're the two strongest businesses.
Like the WhatsApp conundrum isn't because they haven't really tried to properly monetize WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the world's biggest telecom platform now. It's really not contributing anything to that.
And it's getting increasingly sophisticated from a feature set point of view. Yeah. Like I just noticed there's a whole new thing that has now been rolled out where you can organize your chats and break people off into business and personal contacts. And the whole of Israel is basically on WhatsApp. Like if you meet someone, they will never give you their email address ever. Yeah. They will just give you their WhatsApp number.
I would use WhatsApp more than any other app easily. Or email and WhatsApp, depends how you like it. But in terms
but don't
of
you think, oh my God, another WhatsApp group? Isn't that your emotion? That's how I feel about the world.
No, I don't feel that way.
Really?
No, you can always mute them.
There's like 4 groups just about this podcast.
Say you often get confused between the groups as well. So sometimes you'll post in the wrong group, or then sometimes you'll just post stuff for the group directly.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't get worked up about another WhatsApp group. He just has a bit of content that he wants to share, and he'll post it in any of his WhatsApp groups. And then he'll wonder why we didn't respond. Why didn't we respond to it? Because you posted it to your mum. That's why.
Sometimes you send stuff to me that's like clearly for Adir, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be like...
No, I reckon for you, that's intentional.
I just assume Adir's
not going to respond to it.
Well, that would be...
Because we've got 3 pod groups all called pod something right. For you, it's your name, so don't stuff that up.
Can we refute that rationale? If you were posting to Mike because you thought I wouldn't respond, there would be nothing in the chat that I'm in. When do you ever think I'm going to respond to? All right, there you go. That's good. That's a nice concession.
We got the Bowden thread, who Bowden obviously does a fantastic job running our newsletter, which everybody should subscribe to. That's like at 3,000 subs now, which is
it's crazy.
We'll come off like a very low base much after. And we don't really publicise it much, so it's a great read. But
you criticise WhatsApp for not monetizing, Meta for not monetizing WhatsApp. We don't monetize our newsletter.
Yeah, we will. It's coming. But yeah, I think WhatsApp
that's
is
good. Readers so what you're saying is readers, don't worry, you can look forward to having some ads in the newsletter.
There'll be ads that readers benefit from, obviously.
Yeah.